Welcome into Tiger Talks Wrestling. I am your host, Tony. Welcome in Tiger Talks Wrestling. This week for our week in review of both WWE and AEW programming. Both potentially be joined by somebody later, so we'll see if he shows up or not. In the meantime, I'm on over Hope.
Okay.
Give me somebody to talk to. It's my niece Hope. She's been in the wrestling last couple years now too, so had her on my other podcast, the Anchor podcast, and now we'll just have her on here for today anyway.
Yeah.
Are you excited?
Yeah.
Yeah. You ready to talk some wrestling?
Yeah.
Yeah. So last week, Raw started off with Kevin Owens facing Solo Sikoa in a singles match. And we seen KO get the win by DQ when Jimmy Uso got in.
Because he's annoying.
He's annoying?
Yeah, a lot.
Yeah.
Just a little lot.
Jimmy can be. Bloodline can be.
Roman can be, and Zed can be, and Paul can be.
They had a pretty good match. Now it's Monday and Byron Saxton revealed it. They will have a rematch this week on Raw, but it will be a street fight between KO and Solo Sikoa this week.
Yay.
Yeah.
That means Kevin Owens can get his revenge that he deserves.
I mean, Sammy did help him out after the match and took out Solo and Jimmy Uso, so.
Yeah, but Kevin Owens didn't want his help.
Nope. KO just walked away again.
Are they ever going to get their stuff?
In sync?
Yeah.
Maybe. Ashley had a segment. Yeah. And then we seen Bianca Belair, your favorite.
My favorite!
Women's champion, face off against Carmella with Chelsea Green in her corner.
Gosh, Chelsea Green complains all the time.
She does. And Carmella is kind of getting there too, so. Carmella had another good showing, and she's had quite a few, I feel like, since she returned. But in the end,
she didn't win.
Right. She got a KOD, got pinned 1, 2, 3. And then afterwards, Chelsea Green and Carmella both were beating up Bianca until
Asuka came out, then spit Green mist in Chelsea Green's face.
Yeah, she did. She was aiming for Carmella, but Carmella moved and Chelsea Green took the miss instead.
It was funny. That was funny.
And they showed KO backstage, and Sami Zayn walked up to him and was trying to get Kevin Owens to realize that they need to work together to take out the bloodline if they both want the same thing.
It didn't work, though.
Nope, because KO still just wants to do things on his own.
Even though it's probably not best for him to do it on his own.
But that's what he wants to do.
Shouldn't he just team up with Sammy?
We'll see. Then we had The Miz.
No one cares about him.
Was in the ring to moderate the meeting between the megastar Logan Paul.
No one cares.
And Seth
Freaking Rollins.
Mm-hmm. Those three talked, and leading into a match between Logan Paul and Seth Rollins at
WrestleMania!
And then the three of them got into a little bit of a brawl, and Logan Paul
hit one lucky punch.
On Seth freaking Rollins. Yes, he laid out with Seth.
Yeah, but it didn't work on Roman.
Nope.
It might work on Seth, though.
Maybe.
He's tiny and Roman's big.
And then, thanks to Mustafa Ali setting up the match, Dolph Ziggler was in the next match against Omos.
which almost won.
It pretty easily. It was pretty much a squash match.
Uh-huh.
Unfortunately, and then MVP had to talk about the match with Brock Lesnar come up. And those two, Brock and Omos, will be in the same arena tonight on Raw.
No one cares.
Maybe.
Some people might care.
Maximum Male Models. We're talking backstage about Otis.
No, it's not Otis.
And
It's
Chad
Otis.
Gable. We're training, and then Baron Corbin comes into the picture, and it ends up leading to Corbin versus
Chad Gable.
Otis, or Chad Gable with Otis later in the show.
Yeah, who said the girl said he's
All
he's not that ugly.
right. And Paul Heyman and Jimmy Uso and Solo were backstage, and Paul was talking about how Jay had to show up on SmackDown. For that later. Then we got Finn Balor versus Johnny Gargano.
Johnny Gargano won.
Yes, in a really good match that they had. Looked like Finn might have had things going his way up until towards the end when...
Dexter Loomis.
Well, not Dexter Loomis. He was out there the whole time.
Oh.
Who showed up, though?
I don't know.
Whose music played, I should say. Who's Finn supposed to get called out by today?
Oh, Ed!
Yeah. Edge's music played, and that made Dominic and Damian Priest head to the entranceway looking for Edge to come out. But instead, Finn climbed the ropes and was going for the coup de grace, and
Edge pulled him off.
Edge pushed him off.
It's the same thing.
And then Johnny hit one final beat and get the win over Finn Balor.
Yeah.
And then Edge speared Finn Balor as Dexter Loomis took out Damian Priest on the outside.
It's still not fair, though.
It was 3-on-3 at that point, not counting Rhea.
Yeah, but she got involved.
And then Byron caught up with Edge backstage, and Edge said that he's going to be on Raw this week to call out Finn Balor.
Let's go.
That WrestleMania match. Then we got Nikki Cross versus Piper Niven.
No, Nikki Crazy.
Yes, Nikki Crazy. I had a good match. Not that great, but
Hey.
in the end, Piper Niven did pick up the win. It was kind of quick, so and short.
She's big, and Nikki Crazy is tiny, so
It's true.
like almost as big, and Dolph Ziggler's tiny.
Yeah. Then we go backstage, and Rick Boogs and Elias are talking. You see Bronson Reed in the background talking to somebody else. And Elias was telling Boogs that Boogs needed to go up to Bronson Reed and challenge him to a match for this week's Raw.
No, he did not say that.
Rick Boogs did, but Rick comes back and reveals, well, Bronson Reed actually comes back and reveals that Rick Boogs set up a match between Bronson Reed and Elias
What?
this week.
With Elias.
Elias' plan backfired again because now he gets to face the Colossus.
Wait, is there a stipulation?
Nope, it's just one-on-one.
I want him to use his card and whack.
You can see Cody Rhodes and Kevin Owens talking in the background as well.
Maybe they're talking about them teaming up for WrestleMania. So it's actually even, and they just put Sammy in the corner.
Maybe.
Because right now it's like 1-on-4.
Something like that.
Yeah, 1-on-4.
And then we got the return of, in Boston, Massachusetts, his hometown,
John Cena!
uh-huh,
Do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do.
who was tearing up as he made his entrance out to the arena.
John Cena could say a couple words and then
John Cena didn't get to say a single word.
And John Cena
got interrupted.
himself
He got interrupted
by Austin. No one cares.
by the United States champion Austin Theory.
No one cares.
And John Cena would proceed to tell Austin Theory a lot of things.
That bald spot's not got no one. No, that
spit out.
That bald spot on his head's not going nowhere.
Yep.
Which he has hair on the top of his head, so I don't know what Theory's talking about.
Still could see a little bit of the bald spot.
That's much.
Still. But anyway, all of it led to Cena telling Theory he wasn't ready for this. But
John Cena versus Austin Theory at WrestleMania for the United States Championship.
Yep, that is the match we are going to get.
And John Cena's going to hit an AA and put Theory A-Town down.
We'll see. And then when Cena left, he introduced Cody Rhodes, and they had a little moment there on the entrance stage.
Will John Cena be on Raw this week?
No. Probably won't see him again on Raw before WrestleMania.
That's not fair.
He's a busy man. He's filming movies.
Yeah, but if he wins the title, how's he going to film movies and be on shows?
He won't. If he wins the title, he'll probably drop it the next night, and that'll be it.
No!
Or maybe even the same night. Who knows? But
No.
He's just around for WrestleMania.
He comes around and goes around.
And Kathy Kelly talked with Sammy about the main event match coming up with Jimmy. No big deal. Baron Corbin went against Chad Gable with Otis in his corner.
Who was the girl's in love with Otis?
Otis. The Maximum Male Models were shown watching backstage. Gable and Corbin had a really good match, and actually Chad Gable won with the ankle lock.
And
Made Baron Corbin tap out.
if he won, then he would have got to be with Three Dorks.
Yes, if Baron Corbin would have won, then the Maximum Male Models would have considered having him join the group.
But it's not going to happen now. It might, though.
They showed the Miz and Maurice had a Maverick spoof,
No one cares.
which was good, but not as good as Seth and Becky's Riddle and
I still like
Joker and Batman.
I still like how Seth says, like, I still like how Seth at the end
Yeah.
of the commercial, and Becky with her voice, a deep voice.
Then we got Becky Lynch, Lita, and Trish Stratus.
Oh,
Where I was
it's time to
talking.
rock and roll.
Of course, they get interrupted by.
Damage control.
And they talk back and forth a little, and all of it leads to a
6-woman tag team match at WrestleMania, and Io Sky and Dakota Kai were not happy when Bayley accepted that.
And it led to a little bit of a brawl, and Trish and Lita and Becky were left standing tall.
And
Damage control tucked their tails and ran, pretty much. And we got to the main event. You had Jimmy Uso with Solo Sikoa in his corner versus Sami Zayn.
former honorary Uso.
Yes. And Sammy would end up winning the match. A really good match that he had with Jimmy.
So after the match,
Hey now, what do you think you're doing? This is my show, not yours. Towards the end and after the match, Jey Uso returned and showed up and had a very interesting moment with his brother Jimmy in the ring. Could tell Jey looked a little bit conflicted. And it was just very good cinema, pretty much. And then Jey would leave the ring, go over to Sammy, look at him for a little bit, and then they would
raise his hand.
hug,
And
raise
then
his hand, and then
he punched him.
no, he didn't punch him. He super kicked him.
Okay, he super kicked him
Jey Uso super kicked Sammy,
in the barricade.
and then threw Sammy in the ring, and Jimmy and Solo came back out because Solo had gotten ejected during the match. It was
But he
3-on-1 until
The American Nightmare. Cody Rose came out.
yep, and the Bloodline walked away as the show ended. It was interesting, very emotional ending to Monday Night Raw.
Emotional damage.
Yeah, sure, you can give that. But it was a good Raw on the road to WrestleMania nonetheless. Oh, I gotta change that.
What?
Do-do-do.
NXT. It's not just NXT though.
Nope, it wasn't just NXT. We move on now to NXT
NXT?
Roadblock.
Yep, NXT Roadblock. I don't think I said that right. I think I did.
You got it.
Kind of.
Then you would start off the show with Tony D'Angelo, the Don of NXT, with Channing Stacks Lorenzo in his corner,
Really?
facing Dijak in the Jailhouse Street Fight.
I know who won that. Not Jack.
You're right, not Dijak. It was a really fun match, and in the end, Channing Stacks Lorenzo paid dividends as he helped Tony D'Angelo pick up the win and take out Dijak and lock him up in the little jailhouse that was at ringside.
He's in jail. He'd be bad.
He's not going to be in jail, but some really good spots in that match. It was a fun match to watch, that's for sure. And from there,
Next.
we had the 6-man tag match, the Creed brothers and Braun Breaker faced off against Veer, Saga, and Jinder Mahal in this chair.
Let me guess. Bronson Reed and his other goon won. The other people.
Bronson Reed's not even on NXT.
Oh, not Bronson Reed. Braun Breaker.
They're not goons. Braun Breaker's a good guy, as are the Creed brothers. And yes, they did pick up the win as Carmelo Hayes was sitting at ringside on commentary watching the match.
I knew it.
Brutus Creed actually would hit the Brutus bomb off the top rope on Veer to get the 1, 2, 3. Pick up the win.
1, oh no, 2, and no 3.
And then next we had the Grayson Waller effect.
Really?
And Grayson Waller was out there, and his guest was
Shawn Michaels, the Heartbreak Kid.
Yep.
Even though he's not a kid, he's an old man.
He
He's
is.
57.
These two went back and forth, tit for tat, pretty much, for quite a while in this promo. Grayson was trying to goad Shawn into a match against him at Stand and Deliver. However, Shawn says that everybody tries to get one more match from him, but he's a busy man. And he found somebody else that wants Grayson Waller even more than he does.
Johnny Gargano.
Yes, Johnny Wrestling, for the first time in 15 months, returned to NXT and will go against Grayson Waller. The last time we'd seen Johnny Gargano in NXT, Grayson Waller attacked him from behind to send him out of the company pretty much at that point.
Yeah.
So Johnny's definitely looking for some payback. He got a little tiny bit there at that Grayson Waller effect, but we'll see more at Stand and Deliver when Johnny Gargano goes one-on-one with Grayson Waller.
And when he beats Grayson Waller.
Perhaps.
He better.
And then we go into Gigi Dolan versus JC Jane, the two former Toxic Attraction members.
I wanted JC Jane to win.
Well, too bad for you. JC lost because Gigi won. They had a really good match, but Gigi did win the match. Afterwards, JC would attack Gigi again. The rivalry between them is definitely not over. So.
It's not going to be over until, probably the
Stand and Deliver.
Which is WrestleMania Night 1.
The day of, yes.
Mm-hmm. But it starts at 1.
1 o'clock p.m. Eastern time, yes. And then we got Joe Gacy with Schism in his corner facing Andre Chase with Thea Hale and Duke Hudson in his corner.
I think Andre Chase won.
You think wrong.
What?
Joe Gacy did pick up the win. It was an alright match. Not much worth mentioning other than that Joe Gacy picked up the win. Thea Hale kind of got over her fear of I just drew a blank on her name. The Rock's daughter, anyway.
The Rock
Ava.
said. The Rock said.
So,
Ava.
but still, it ended up kind of costing Andre Chase a little distraction. And Joe Gacy would pick up the win from there. And then in the main event, we had Meiko Satomura versus Roxanne Perez for the NXT Women's Championship.
Roxanne Perez.
In what I would say was the match of the night, easily. Roxanne Perez did pick up the win.
But after the match, it wasn't so good. She kind of fainted.
Yeah, she took a lot of shots to the head from Meiko Satomura during the match. Roxanne had gotten back up with a little help from Meiko, and Meiko raised her hand, and then Roxanne went face first right into the mat and had to be stretchered out of the arena. So
she had to go into ambulance and go to the doctor.
Yep, she did. Last reports I seen was she is fine. She's back at home, resting. So good things happening.
Maybe she'll be back soon.
Maxine will be fine.
As long as she don't faint again.
Right. Did see throughout the night 2 women that want a shot at the women's title eventually. I mean, the show started off, the soft open was Tiffany Stratton, and she's looking to get the title shot. Also, during the show, AF Valkyrie mentioned that she wants a shot
Tell
at
me why.
women's title.
Tell me why.
We'll see where things go from here as we head to Stand and Deliver in a couple weeks. And from there,
we have to do the next thing.
And we go to AEW Dynamite from Golden One Center in Sacramento, California. They kicked off the show with Jay Lethal facing Orange Cassidy for the All-Atlantic Championship. And they had a really good back-and-forth match. This was the 3rd match they've had since Jay Lethal's been in AEW. Probably one of the matches. But in the end, it was Orange Cassidy picking up the win as he retains the All-Atlantic Championship.
Yay!
Jay Lethal had attacked Orange Cassidy's knee quite a bit during that match. We'll mention that Jeff Jarrett, Sanjay Dutt, and Satnam Singh did try to come out with Jay Lethal, but the referee court did stop them and make them go to the back. But after the match, though, Jeff Jarrett would come out and he did attack Orange Cassidy and with the guitar, smash the guitar over the injured knee of Orange Cassidy.
He had to go to the doctor?
He had to go back to the trainer, I'm sure, afterwards, yes.
He'll be fine.
Yep.
Just a knee.
Renee Paquette caught up with Powerhouse Hobbs, talking about the TNT Championship match that was coming up in the main event. Then we got Ricky Starks, who comes out and says he doesn't know what's next for him. And as he's talking, then you get the Bullet Club theme song playing as he gets attacked. Ricky Starks gets attacked from behind by Juice Robinson. So it looks like we got a little rivalry between those 2 guys coming up.
Yay.
And then Tony Schiavone caught up with Wardlow, who was wearing an FTR shirt because his gear and title had been carjacked the night before. He says he might not have the title with him, but he's still going to defend the title tonight. But not just a regular match because of the mood he's in. He wants it. Balls count anywhere match tonight with Powerhouse Hobbs.
Oh, no.
And then in the ring, Renee caught up with Ruby Soho, trying to get Ruby's explanation why she decided to turn on join Tony Storm and Saraya and turn on Britt Baker and Jamie Hayter. And Ruby said that ever since she came in, she's never gotten the support of the crowd, of the fans, that they've always been for the homegrown women. So that is pretty much why she decided that she was going nowheres without Tony Storm and Saraya. So that's why she went with them. And then Ruby would go on to face Sky Blue in a match that was longer than what it should have been, in my opinion, but Ruby Soho would pick up the win with Destination Unknown. Saraya and Tony Storm came out as they looked like they were going to spray paint an L on Sky Blue, but Willow Nightingale came out to try and talk some sense into Ruby Soho as their former partners. Unfortunately, she got attacked from behind by Tony Storm and Saraya, and both Sky Blue and Willow Nightingale got L's spray painted on them. Then Renee caught up backstage with Hangman Adam Page, talking about how Hangman won his match against Jon Moxley at Revolution. Adam says that he's done with Moxley and that he's moving on, which we'll find out later what actually is going to go down. Got a really good segment from MJF shown from after Revolution.
He cheated. She cheated.
Yes, he cheated to win at Revolution.
Because he's a big cheater.
Yep.
Cheater alert. That's what I call it, cheater alert.
MJF would reveal that this upcoming week he will have his re-bar mitzvah on Dynamite. So that'll be interesting to see who interrupts that. It'll be next in line for an AEW title shot.
Me.
Because they're in Canada. I don't think you're going to be in Canada on Wednesday.
And
then Tony Schiavone would welcome back FTR, who came out and made it very clear that they had a very great 2022, but it ended on a sour note as they lost about 3 tag team titles in about a week or a month's time, whatever they said. And They lost to the Guns, and the Guns took them out. While they're back to get revenge against the Guns and want to take the one thing that matters most to them. That's the AEW World Tag Team titles.
The Guns better not win.
You're right. The FTR better win the tag titles again. Renee caught up with Jade Cargill backstage, and Jade issued an open challenge to any woman from Canada to show up and face her this upcoming week on Dynamite.
Who is in Canada?
There's a lot of women from Canada.
Who is from Canada?
There's a lot of women from Canada. We'll
Ruby
see.
Soho?
No.
She's not one of them?
No.
Where is she from then?
Then Lafayette, Louisiana.
We're not in Louisiana.
Then we got a trios match as Jericho Appreciation Society's Daniel Garcia, Sammy Guevara, and Chris Jericho with the other members of the JAS in their corner, went against AR Fox and Top Flight. It's a pretty good 6-man tag match. In the end, Chris Jericho would hit the Judas Effect on Darius Martin after some systematic cheating, as Tony Schiavone always calls it. Getting the 1-2-3 and the win for JAS. Afterwards, Jericho Appreciation Society gets on the mic and talks about how they want to challenge for the AEW World Trios tag titles. They call out the House of Black. The lights go out, but we get Carry On My Wayward Soul as the Elite come out first and talk a little bit about how they're the former champs and they deserve to get a rematch. Well, they go to talk, and Don Callis comes out and talks for them, I should say.
Why do they deserve a rematch?
Because they just lost the title, so they deserve a rematch to try and get them back.
No one cares.
Everybody cares. It's the Elite. As they're bickering back and forth, then the lights go out again. The House of Black appears and issue the challenge for a 3-way match for the AEW World Trios Championships this upcoming week on Dynamite.
Which is in 2 days.
Yes.
Number 2.
And then we go backstage to Tony Khan, who announces that night was the final defense of the All-Atlantic Championship. It's now being renamed the International, I think was what they called it, Championship, and it'll be defended next week by Orange Cassidy against Jeff Jarrett after what happened earlier in the show.
Orange Cassidy better win.
I don't know if he will or not. We'll see.
He better.
Then we go to a backstage interview from After Evolution from Bryan Danielson, who pretty much the gist of it says it's time for him to go home to be with his family. What? So looks like Bryan Danielson will be taking a little bit of time off now.
Why?
To heal some wounds.
The MJF gave him.
Yes.
And to spend some time with his kid Birdie and Buddy and his wife Brie Bella.
Yep. Then we got Claudio Castagnoli and Jon Moxley with Wheeler Yuta winning up against Alex Reynolds and John Silver from the Dark Order. It was a very good tag team match, but in the end, Moxley would catch Alex Reynolds in the Bulldog choke and make him tap out to get the win. Afterwards, Wheeler Yuta was out there with the BCC, and they would all go after Reynolds and Silver until Evil Uno came out and tried to even things up, but he got taken down and out as well. Hangman Adam Page came out, and it was just a big brawl. Hangman got knocked down a couple times. Referee's court came out to try and separate it.
It didn't work.
Not really. And we'll find out on Rampage what it's leading to.
Rampage this Friday.
And Renee caught up with the Acclaimed backstage and Daddy Ass, talking about how they want their tag title shot again at some point. But they get interrupted by Matt Menard and Angelo Parker 2.0 from Jericho Appreciation Society, trying to tell them that they are the Acclaimed, are sports entertainers, and they should come and join the Jericho Appreciation Society. And the Acclaimed just laughed them off and walked away. Then we got the main event, Powerhouse Hobbs versus Wardlow in the Falls Count Anywhere match for the TNT title.
Oh, jeez.
It started good with the brawl in the back, but this match was very short and not that great, to be honest. The end of it, QT Marshall actually popped up as Wardlow was going for a powerbomb to Hobbs off the entrance area by the announce table, and QT would hit Powerhouse Hobbs with a chair in the back, or excuse me, not Powerhouse Hobbs, but Wardlow in the back with a chair. And then Wardlow looked to take care of QT, but got low blowed. QT would beat him up some more with that chair, and Powerhouse Hobbs ended up with a little bit of help from QT. They would powerbomb Wardlow off the stage, and one of the rules for this match was that you could win by knockout or pinfall or submission. Well, surrender, not submission. And Wardlow was unable to get up before the 10 count, so Powerhouse Hobbs won the TNT Championship by knockout.
Why would they have him win the title and then lose it a week later?
3 days later.
Okay, 3 days later.
Apparently it was planned quite a ways back, but to me that was just a crappy way to end a pretty decent show. They should have had the Blackpool Combat Club probably go on last there, but
next we're gonna go into SmackDown.
That and Lethal and Orange. Lackluster show.
Next is SmackDown.
Yep. Next we got Friday Night SmackDown, which started with a recap of what happened on Raw with the whole Jey Uso turning on Sami Zayn and joining back up with his brother in the Bloodline. We see Paul Heyman arrive. Well, Paul Heyman in the back as Jey Uso and Jimmy Uso arrived. Jey wants to talk to Roman Reigns, but apparently Roman wasn't there at the arena. So
you want to talk to him maybe next week.
Maybe. Then we go into the Fatal 5-Way match. You got Drew McIntyre, Karrion Kross, Xavier Woods filling in for an injured Kofi Kingston, LA Knight and Sheamus going at it, with the winner would become the number one contender for the Intercontinental Championship.
Which it was a double pin.
Yep, it was a very good, I'd say great match, really, these 5 men put on. But in the end, yes, you'd see a Claymore kick,
and a
brogue kick, yep. The brogue kick to Xavier Woods from Sheamus, and a Claymore to LA Knight from Drew. Drew would pin LA Knight while Sheamus pinned Xavier Woods. You had 2 referees out there, and they'd both come in and count the 1, 2, 3 at the same time.
So who won? Both of them?
Sheamus and Drew both won.
Yeah, but they're going to have a match this Friday, and whoever wins gets to go against them.
You're cutting ahead.
Maybe.
No maybes about it. And Kayla Braxton caught up backstage with Paul Heyman and tried to get a word from Paul about Jey Uso returning to the Bloodline, but Paul didn't want nothing to do with that. He just was more interested in talking about Cody Rhodes and how Cody stuck his nose in Bloodline business.
No one cares. He's in a feud with Roman right now. Shush.
Well, Paul Heyman cares.
I don't care what Paul Heyman cares.
Paul Heyman don't care what you care.
I care that I want Cody to win.
Then we go backstage again, and we see Sheamus and Drew McIntyre arguing back and forth about how Drew's trying to steal Sheamus's spot and match, and how it was a double pin and all that stuff, and Butch and Ridge Holland come in and try to separate them. And then
you both won. I'll take it.
We find out who the first inductee for this year's class of 2023 Hall of Fame will be.
Rey Mysterio!
Yes, the master of the 619, Rey Mysterio, going in the Hall of Fame.
He said like a word and then his...
No
word.
He went to say a word, and his son decided to come out.
No.
Not just his son.
No, his annoying son.
Uh-huh.
That he needs to punch in the face.
Dominic and the Judgment Day came out. Dominic ran down his dad and told his dad that Rey deserves to only be in one kind of Hall of Fame, and that's the Deadbeat Dad Hall of Fame.
Yeah, that's where you should be.
And that would bring out Legado del Fantasma, and Santos would tell him, hey, I know we're supposed to have a 6-man tag later tonight, but why wait? We're all here. Let's do it now.
So we got a referee.
Yep.
And we started the match.
Before they started the match, they would show the social media coverage of Backlash coming up May 6th in Puerto Rico, which will be hosted by the returning Bad Bunny. And then we got the 6-man tag match, which was a really great match. The guy looked really good in there. But in the end...
the Judgment Day got the win.
Yes, Dominic Mysterio would pin Cruz del Toro. Rhea would get a little involved in there, causing distraction. And then Dom would call Rey into the ring after the match and would insult his dad some more.
And then he would beat up his dad.
He tried to beat up his dad. He pushed his dad a couple times and then went for a move from behind, but Rey moved out of the way.
And
his son went flying out the ring.
He said he's not going to fight him, but I, for some reason, just don't believe that.
Yep. And the Judgment Day held Don back as Legado del Fantasma was in the ring with Rey at that point.
I just think he needs to do a punch in the face and then maybe knock some sense in him.
Maybe.
That's what
And
he needs to do.
Adam Pearce would go into his office and Charlotte Flair was in there waiting, and Charlotte said she wanted a match tonight, so Adam Pearce said he'd find her a suitable opponent. And then we got Ricochet and Braun Strowman facing the Viking Raiders.
No one cares.
You too. It was a really good match. You just might not like the outcome of it.
No, I don't.
Had a really good tag team match. Braun Strowman went for a Strowman Express, except for when he went to hit Eric with it. Valhalla moved Eric out of the way, and Braun went tumbling over the announce table, which would lead to Ricochet.
Taking too long.
Yep. And suffering the fate as Ivar would hit a splash off the top rope to pin Ricochet to win the match.
That had to hurt.
Yes, it did. So,
Ricochet's tiny.
I was surprised the Viking Raiders won there, but
it doesn't help Braun Strowman got knocked out.
yeah. Then they go backstage, Adam Pearce again with Imperium there, and Gunther mentioning how, hey, he wants a singular, not plural, two, but a singular, one-person opponent for WrestleMania.
I agree. We don't need two.
What Adam Pearce was going to do about it. So Adam said that next week on SmackDown,
which is St. Patrick's Day,
this upcoming Friday, yep, on St. Patrick's Day, it'll be
Green Day.
Drew McIntyre one-on-one with Sheamus, where the winner will go on to face Gunther for the Intercontinental Championship at WrestleMania
39.
Then we got Charlotte Flair out to the ring in a non-title match to go up against Shotzi.
Blackheart.
Nope, just Shotzi.
No, Blackheart.
They had a decent match. Rhea Ripley came out during the match. In the end, Charlotte Flair would pick up the win with the figure 8.
Yeah, I think that she's not gonna win at WrestleMania.
You don't think Charlotte's winning at WrestleMania?
No, Rhea needs all the payback from what she did 3 years ago.
Yes, 3 years ago.
Okay, no, almost.
It will be, yeah.
She needs payback. Instead of NXT Championship, though, it's the SmackDown one.
Yep.
So I think that Rhea Ripley gonna get out of the finger 4, and she's gonna
figure 8.
Yep. I can't talk. And she's gonna hit a riptide, which will be 1, 2, and 3.
Maybe.
No, I'm sure.
They had a little bit of a conversation afterwards. Rhea claims that Charlotte's afraid of her, but doesn't look that way. Anyway, then you see the Usos heading out to the ring as they come out, and Jay out there to explain why he did what he did on Raw Monday night.
But he said he didn't want to do it.
Right, but he had to do it.
Because it's family.
Yep.
Family before something.
Family before anything.
Okay.
And then says Sammy made him do it. And then they start running down Cody Rhodes, and at that point, Cody decides
to pop out of nowhere.
Yeah. Cody comes out and says, Sammy, if you want to talk about me, why don't you have something to say? Why don't you say it to my face?
And Sammy.
Hold on, you're beating to the punch. So Cody heads towards the ring, and Sami Zayn comes out and attacks from behind. And then you get those 4 guys in the ring, in the ring and through the crowd, brawling. And then referees and producers come out and try to break them up as the show comes to an end, as the Usos are leaving and Cody and Sammy are standing tall in the ring as Cody raises Sami Zayn's hand.
I swear if Cody don't win, I'm going to be mad.
That was a pretty good episode of Friday Night SmackDown, I'd say. Really good.
I think SmackDown's going to be green this week.
Maybe.
St. Patrick's Day. It's going to be green.
And we got Rampage.
Rampage.
Rampage started off with the rematch between Action Andretti and Sammy Guevara. They had a really good match, and maybe not quite as good as the one they had a couple weeks ago, but in the end, it looked like Action Andretti might have the win. However, as JS usually does, they got that systematic cheating in line again. As Action Andretti was going towards the top, Out comes Daniel Garcia to knock him off and leading to a GTH.
TTH, whatever that is.
From Sammy Go to, and I can't tell you what the last word is. I could, but I won't.
Curse word.
Yep, it's a curse word. Leading to the 1, 2, 3, Sammy Guevara picks up the win thanks to Daniel Garcia. Which, to me, is just stupid. I feel like Action Andretti should have got the win there. He's been on kind of a cold streak since being Chris Jericho, and they need to give him some more wins. But
Chris Jericho.
And then the Acclaimed go up against two guys that are locals, Starboy Charlie and Jack Cartwheel. Very quick, short match, leading to the mic drop from Max Caster to Starboy Charlie, and Anthony Bowens would pick up the 1, 2, 3 from there. 2.0 come out, and they're still trying to get the Acclaimed to join JAS, and the Acclaimed don't want anything to do with it.
It don't work.
We would find out that this upcoming week on Dynamite in Toronto, it'll be Hangman Adam Page teaming up with Evil Uno and the returning Stu Grayson to go up against another member of the Dark Order. To go up against the Blackpool Combat Club members of Wheeler Yuta, Claudio Castagnoli, and John Moxley in a trios match. Their version of a 6-man tag.
Oh.
Duh.
No. Ow.
Then we got Preston Vance versus Konosuke Takeshita, and Don Callis was on commentary as he's taken a liking to Takeshita and is trying to help Takeshita further his career. They had a really good match here. In the end, Takeshita would pick up the win, which is something rare to see on TV lately.
Maybe.
And then Nyla Rose went up against Riho in the main event. These two have fought a few different times. They've traded the AEW Women's World Title as Riho beat Nyla Rose originally to become the first ever AEW Women's Champion. And then Nyla Rose, like 6 months later or something like that, would beat Riho to become the second ever Women's Champion.
How is AEW 4 years old?
It's not quite 4 yet.
Okay, how is it almost 4?
It's been around since 2019 now.
Oh, I'm gonna fall.
Pretty good match these two had, but in the end, Riho would sneak out a victory here and pay for it afterwards, as Marina Shafir was out there with Nyla, tried to get involved at points, but after the match, Marina and Nyla would take out Riho, and then out come Saraya, Toni Storm, and Ruby Soho.
Ruby Soho. Ruby Soho.
Ruby Soho.
That's what I just said.
Those three would go past Nyla and Marina, who just let him walk down, and would attack and then paint Riho to end the show.
Paint her with green paint because apparently I don't think she looks good in pink.
Yeah. A decent episode of Rampage. They've had better, but they've had worse as well. So
yeah. That's offensive of them.
Well, it's the truth.
Especially with Tony Khan. Or not him. Wait, yep.
Yes, yeah. Him.
I forgot.
All right. So now
we
do stuff.
We do stuff. We just do random things on here.
Yeah, sure. Not really, but
okay, after a certain point. What happened?
Just hold on. Getting something to bring up.
I was reading that.
SmackDown will be a part of Monday Night Raw this week. I'm going to go.
What?
Well, LA Knight from SmackDown's going up against Cody Rhodes, so.
Okay, have fun losing LA Knight.
Probably.
It just takes a Cody Cutter. What?
Probably Crossroads, but sure. First time ever match between those two.
Walk with Elias. Lucky, lucky, lucky. I'm so lucky.
Whoa, wait a minute. We're going to play this.
Okay, let's play this.
Let's do.
Go there. Go there.
Brave tab is what I wanted.
You don't want that?
Yes, and I got something to say. It's one-on-one with Bronson. Let me take it away.
Oh, yeah, take it away,
Oh my god, that was weird.
You know, man, what are you doing?
But listen, sorry, I remember now. But honestly, I'm sorry about last week too in this match. Honestly, I've never missed Red Lips before.
Okay.
I don't know what happened.
Look, I get it. All right. Look, we're forward. Keep forward tonight because of your lip reading mishap. I've got a big match with Bronson. All right. But I'm going to do something. I'm going to do you a favor. Tonight, I'm going to take you from backstage, taking out there ringside with me. You're going to see what it's like to learn firsthand.
Wait, I get to walk in person? I get to feel the electricity of walking with Elias? Oh my God! Oh my God! I'm booging out! I'm booging out! I'm booging out!
Bro, you need to calm. Just a little.
Well, that's interesting.
Are you okay, Rick Boo? It's almighty.
Work too hard to be denied. I will be ready to fight on the biggest stage of them all, WrestleMania. I don't care who it is. Somebody will feel the wrath of the Almighty. Because reports out that Bray Wyatt is not physically cleared, apparently, to compete right now. And there's questions as to whether or not he will be at WrestleMania. So,
I want to be at WrestleMania.
we'll see.
Otis is missing.
Missing! Last seen on Raw last week.
Uh-oh. He's missing. Storyline wise. Come
I gotta
on.
read the description on the paper once
Well,
again. Mention this. Yes, Chad Gable says, please help. Description: male, brown hair, brown eyes, brown beard, lasting shoosh, black trunks. Reward: one free lesson in Alpha Academy for $99.95.
I don't want that. Give me $1 million and I'll think about
Persons
it.
finding any information are requested to call 555-456-7890.
That's not your actual number.
Maybe that's able. Maybe not.
And then my phone.
Sure, yeah.
Hello?
Yes, Edge will be on the show tonight. You got Damian Priest and Dominic Mysterio will face Johnny Gargano and Dexter Lumis in a tag team match tonight. Bronson Reed and Elias one-on-one.
Bianca Belair,
the Raw Women's Champion, versus
and
Chelsea Green.
Chelsea complaining green.
Edge will be calling out Finn Balor.
Calling out.
Wants Finn to come out alone because Edge says he's going to be alone. We'll see if Finn does that. Brock Lesnar and Omos will come face to face.
No one cares.
Byron announcing some matches, including Cody Rhodes will face LA Knight tonight.
Shawn Michaels, the Heartbreak Kid.
That's what's going down on Raw.
John Cena. Anything?
Less than 20 days till WrestleMania. Let's see if they got anything for NXT on this page, but
I don't think they do.
look like it for right now. It's AEW, WWE on AEW from last night. This is NXT, so I'm going to go over to the NXT page and see if they've got any matches announced for tomorrow night.
They might just have them all surprises.
No, they got some stuff announced.
What? What's that?
That they have signs.
Oh.
That's right. Johnny Gargano will return to NXT.
If
Mention his return.
If he can even stand after he's done with the Dortmund boys.
Gallus defend the NXT Tag Team titles against Pretty Deadly tomorrow night.
I don't care.
And Apollo Crews goes 1-on-1 with his former friend, Dabaketo, tomorrow night as well. Dabaketo.
No, it's an Amanda Aziz.
Dabaketo.
It's an Amanda Aziz.
But at the beginning of the show,
We.
Wesley will issue another open challenge for the NXT North American Championship, which Axiom says he's going to be the one to answer, but we will see. We shall see. All right. Do you know? I should have brought that up too. I'm sure they got that.
What?
I know I got Drew versus Sheamus on SmackDown. I can't remember if they announced anything else for SmackDown yet.
I don't think they did. What about them two?
There's potentially a match that could happen between those two at WrestleMania. That's what about those two.
It's not going to happen.
It could.
It's not.
It could. It could.
Not. AEW or not AEW? AEW.
AEW.
AEW. No matches.
Yeah, they're talking about their show that's on YouTube right now.
There's no
But
matches.
there's lots of matches that are announced for tomorrow night. Including MJF's 3 Bat Mitzvah, I mean.
Why is she so tiny?
Because you're young, you're 13 when you get your first Bat Mitzvah.
This Wednesday.
Yeah, we're going to play that here in a second.
Where's the person?
He decided to no-show, I guess.
On your phone here? That's all I know.
He wouldn't text anyways. He would have sent a message in Twitter. He decided.
I'm feeling good, man. It's time to celebrate a party with MJF at his Rebar Expo. Dark Order teams with Hangman Page to face the Black Combat Club. Card looks to Canada.
One of you cats Canadians step up.
Orange Cassidy defends the AEW International Championship against Jeff Jarrett. And the trio's belts are on the line in a three-way. The Elite and JAS challenge the House of Black. Wednesday night, live at 8 on TBS.
Okay, we already saw it. We don't need to see it again.
Whoops. Here we go. So also, we'll hear from the Outcasts, Ruby Soho, Saraya, and Tony Storm, and QTV from QT Marshall will debut. That's all on for Dynamite this upcoming week.
March 18th.
That's a house show. No big deal. Saturday. AEW Dynamite, Rampage, and Double or Nothing coming to Las Vegas, Nevada.
May
MGM Grand.
24th.
Yep.
2097.
2097. Okay.
2023. 2023.
Yep.
2023.
All right. And then we'll look to try and have this show back on this upcoming Sunday night at 8 o'clock. We'll see as things do happen. We'll see if John is available. He had a coworker that ended up with COVID, so he had to close last night and tonight both at work. So he couldn't be here today.
Nope.
Or last night.
Nope.
Other than that, that's pretty much all I got for this week. So, Opie, say goodbye.
Bye.
See you guys in the next one.
The eye of the